Segment 2 of WPSD Local 6 Legal Line. Attorneys from the Bryant Law Center to my left, Mark Bryant, Emily Roark, and we are discussing another pending, well, I guess it's not really a pending lawsuit. These things have been going on against Roundup, the makers of Roundup, because these things cause issues, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, it's really incredible, Dave. They've got, there have been 3 trials now out in California. The first trial, a jury came back with $256 million against Monsanto Bayer, and the judge reduced it to 78. The second trial, they came back with an $80 million verdict. And the third trial, and it just ended a couple of days ago, and the juries now are hearing so much about how Monsanto has hidden the fact that this is cancer causing. People have been buying Roundup for years and years, and they're getting non-Hodgkin's lymphoma from it, so they're getting cancer from it, and it's just been hidden. And so finally the juries are fed up, and they gave punitive damages just a couple of days ago against Monsanto Bayer for $2 billion to a man and his wife who had just used it in their yard over a period of 30 years, a couple of times a year. But they both developed non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and the jury and the expert witnesses testified, and the federal judge allowed in these cases the testimony of expert witnesses. And I mean, it's really disgusting too, because the government has even come down and says, oh, glyphosate, which is the active ingredient in Roundup, it's not cancer causing. It is cancer causing. They're just trying to protect Roundup and Bayer. And the stuff's still on the shelves at the stores, and there's no cancer, there's no black box on there saying this is cancer causing, and it is really troubling. They continue to do that.
We do have a viewer who asks, if I have Hodgkin's lymphoma, do I qualify?
Won't you take that?
No, unfortunately you don't. It has to be non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So it's very specific. If it's not non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, then you don't qualify under this lawsuit.
Another viewer wants to know that their father, who used Roundup for many years, passed away from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in 2008. Can their family stand in on his behalf?
Yes, but it's not going to be simple as you might imagine, because we're going to have to be able to prove that. So why don't you just pick up the phone and call me, and after we've had a chance to talk about it, I can tell you more about it. Just because someone has died does not mean that the case is not active. But we've got statute limitations issues always, and so yeah, please make the phone call and we'll try to do it. The key to the whole thing is, did somebody have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma? And number 2, if they did they use Roundup? Because if you used it in your yard even a couple of times a year, or if you use it as a farmer or use it as a landscaper, I mean, those kind of things, that's the cause of action, that's the lawsuit.
Now we have, just real quickly here, is this limited to just people like landscapers and people that used Roundup, or is it anybody that used Roundup?
It's anybody that used Roundup for any purpose. So if you use Roundup and you have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, then get a hold of us.
Okay. If you would like more information, you can see the Legal Line section on our web channel, WPSDLocal6.com. Review this segment from the Bryant Law Center with Mark Bryant and Emily Roark. All you have to do is click the Legal Line icon in the middle of the page.